Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Dynamic Alignment Bodywork. And today I want to talk about putting a little more spring in our step. So like a lot of what we've been doing, this is something that you can do right now in your office or home or wherever you're watching this video. And I guess not only spring in your step as a way of moving, but also a different way of standing. So I invite you to stand up. This probably won't make much intellectual sense if you're just sitting in your chair watching this. So, close whatever Facebook browser or work that you have open and come to standing. And a lot of us, we stand, and especially this is a great exercise for if you ever feel like you're just sort of back in your heels, that sort of feeling, and if walking feels heavy. So what you can do is stand up, and a lot of us get an image of the body as sort of like a bunch of blocks stacked on top of each other. In fact, there's a lot of imagery of sort of like the spine, like a stack of bricks, and we need to get them all aligned, right? We're going to take that concept out for the moment and get into the feeling of the body where we're really a tensionally dependent structure, and that is where gravity can pass through us. The bottommost expression of that sort of tensional dependent system is actually the arch of the foot. So we're going to move in a way where we're getting a little bit more into our arches. Sorry, plane overhead. So you can stand, and I don't know, Andrew, if you can get my full torso here, but so come to standing upright and start to lean back just a little bit, and this leaning is going to happen think about your ankles only as the hinge point, and lean back just a touch until I'm clearly in my heels. My quads start to fire. If I'm going to go back any more, they start to fall, and then I can come to center and then start to lean forward a little bit. You can do this definitely big movements to start to get a feel, but pretty quickly start to get more refined. By that I mean just more subtle. I'm starting to move on the plane of millimeters right now. For a lot of us, I'll come up and find what feels like a neutral standing point, which is, we could say, through my heels. And there can be a time and a place for this sort of resting. I can think about this as resting more in my skeletal body, in my bones. See what it's like, and see if you can develop a sense for if I start to hinge forward just a few degrees. Again, if I really exaggerate this, I'm like ski jumper, right? This is all happening at the ankles. It's not moving forward at my hips or my chest, sticking my butt out. But this part stays relatively quiet while I hinge forward at the ankles. And what a lot of us feel, I know what I feel, is I start to move forward just a couple degrees. There's a point where my soft tissue body, my fascial system, or my arches, or however you want to think about it, kind of becomes activated, more so than when I'm just sitting back in my heels. So I'm just tilting forward enough until I feel that sort of come online. And then, for a lot of us, the next natural extension of this movement is going to be start to walk. And that's that feeling. A lot of times people who are into running, especially more minimalist shoe running, right? You're almost falling forward, right? That it's less I'm kind of diving back, and that's the not heel strike part, where I am staying on top of my feet and falling forward. Same concept when we're walking, right? So again, the process of standing up, feeling where you normally go, and then you can go back and forward a little bit. But just that point where I first sort of feel an activation, again, through a more soft tissue, kind of springy feel in my body, and then see what it's like to just take a few steps from there. And there's a sense of not full on falling on your face gonna fall, but you're kind of falling forward a little bit each time, and letting your arches, letting your whole soft tissue system sort of catch you and springing back up really gently. A lot of us have had this sort of feel of lightness or springiness in sports or dance, or and there's a lot of ways we can feel it, but it's a really, I find, helpful and cool tool to sort of integrate that into our more day-to-day way of walking and being. So as always, I hope that helps, and see you next week.